And everybody's connecting. Liza is here. Good morning, Liza. Amy's here. Good morning, Amy.
Nice.
Samantha's here. She's still connecting to audio. So once we get her connected, appreciate everyone being here this morning.
Yes.
Leah's joining us all the way from Florida.
Which Liza will like seeing. Hey, Amy, thanks for joining us again. And Liza will love this because Liza has been here and she knows Amos. Hey, so Amos, come say hi to Liza. Come here.
And okay, Renee's joining us.
Nice. So while we're waiting for people to join, I'll show everyone Amos and Ava. So there's Ava at the top. Can you see her? Oh, she's so cute. And then Amos is down here. Hi, BB. Can you guys see Amos down there? It's hard for me because I can't tell. Where is this? Oh, yeah, he's down at the bottom there. Hi, BB. Are you coming? Hi, kiss, kiss. So he's giving kisses. And then his little sisters. Huh?
Is he under the palm plant?
No, he's over here. Here, let's see if we can go over here. Come here. Do you see him now?
Look at that clown.
He's right in front of the clown. Hey, baby.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see him. Oh yeah. Look at that.
And then Ava's up here doing her little dance. And
oh yeah.
Hi Ava. She's like Cirque du Soleil. She goes all over the bars. Kind of crazy. So, hi baby.
And Michelle and Beth have joined us. Welcome.
Nice.
And we're just getting a sneak peek of the C.A.R.E Foundation where Leah is at, if you're wondering what's going on there. So we wanted to do that while we were waiting for everyone to join. But I think we're going to get a little more sneak peek as we go along. So
I love you.
So don't worry about that. But we do want to start, we like to start every week with our wins to celebrate each other and support each other. So Leah, why don't you start with your win? We'll kick it off and then.
Well, of course, my win is being here, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's my big win.
Yay.
What's yours, Jamie? What is your win?
My big win is lashing out and having to examine the frustration and figuring out why I was frustrated. So that's a really big win, really big win.
That's a huge win when we can like really get to the root. Because of course, when we're mad, we're like, oh, it's this thing. But when we find that we're mad, right? That's an intense emotion. It's usually there's more to it. There's something underlying. It's not really the thing that kicked it off. I love that. Yay, Jamie!
Yes, and it always takes me a while. I have to think about it, but I was given the time. I lashed out. It's like, oh, this isn't like me. What's going on? So then I go inward, and I think we can all
part of this practice, right?
Yeah,
that awareness.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Cool. And Amy, would you like to share your win?
Well, I can't really think of any, but I got mad at these kids that were throwing sticks and forks at my dogs.
Oh.
And I also yelled at them and and then I guess the win was that at least my head was like that. I probably should have handled that differently because now they can like throw, chicken soaked antifreeze into my yard and kill my dogs. But when you see my family in imminent danger, like I wanted, I'm gonna react.
Absolutely.
Really challenging time to stay kind.
But maybe you could talk to them and say, kids, it scares my dog, and what are you getting out of this, and how can we maybe get it so you don't do this? Maybe apologize for yelling at them. Maybe buy them some cookies and say, I'm really sorry I yelled at you, because they're not used to adults apologizing.
Right.
Yeah. If I see them again, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and just let them know why you reacted. And
just say, I'm protecting my dog, right? Yeah. So that's a win. Yay, Amy.
Hey, that is a win. All right. And I'm just going down the list. Liza.
All right.
So first off, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can.
Because this is the first time this has ever happened. I can see me, but I'm like the whole screen and everybody else is little.
Oh, you just have it in speaker. So you have to unpin, go to gallery view. Are you on your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, so gallery is up in the far upper right-hand corner. You'll see
the view. Okay.
view. Yep. And just put
Go
it
to
on
gallery.
gallery view. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Oh, that was
You're
driving me
welcome.
crazy.
You're
So
welcome.
my win is I have 2 friends that I've known for years that know that I do Reiki, and they're always like, yeah, we'll do sessions, blah, blah, blah. Well, today I have a session I confirmed. As soon as we're done here, I have a session with her dog. And then Friday I have a session with another friend's cat. So,
Yay.
I know. Yay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Samantha, do you have a win that you would like to share with us?
I guess my win is I am able just to sit down with my dog and relax today instead of like running around like I'm crazy. So, yep, just sitting and relaxing with my pup.
Excellent.
I love that.
That's beautiful. Absolutely.
And that's good recovery time, right? When we
Yes.
spend recovery time with our animals.
Mhm.
Love that.
Absolutely. Renee, do you have a win you would like to share with us?
Okay, I didn't hear the initial question. This is my first time doing this too.
Well,
So is it a
welcome,
win?
Renee.
Is it a win for today? Is it what's
Whatever, we just like to share any kind of win that we've had this week. It can be any time. It could be today, this week, whatever, last month. What kind of win have you had that you would like to share with us so we can
and that's regarding Animal Reiki?
regarding
No, just
anything?
anything.
Oh, okay.
Anything.
Okay. All right. What's a win? Yes. Okay. I actually just started an animal communication course a couple days ago, and it's very exciting, and I think that's a win of all the things that I have to think about and do. I don't know.
That's exciting.
That is
You're gonna keep
exciting.
working with animals and giving back. Yay.
Yes,
And we're excited you're here. That's a win for us. Yay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. Thank you. Wilma, what would you like to share with us today?
I just booked a new groom with a new client with a 16-month-old German Shepherd.
Nice.
Yay! That'll
Yay.
be fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Gabby, what's your win for today that you'd like to
Morning.
share?
I just got here
Good morning.
outside in the park. Woo! What is my win? Actually, it's not for animals so much, even though the horse yesterday was down for 6 minutes, which was amazing. So that was really, really cool. I did Reiki on a nun volunteering, and I did it twice. She had a hip replacement, and I could really feel that was in her knee also. And then I heard through a friend that she really would like to have another one, but she was just too shy to ask me again. So I was
Oh, wow.
So-
Nice.
felt really good to her.
Yay. Good job.
Huge win.
Yes. Michelle, would you like to share a win with us?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, my win is being here with you guys, which I found through the Letting Animals Lead conference. And finally deciding on a course that I wanted to take, because I had a list of like 10 things I want to do, and signed up with Kathleen for the Reiki course. It starts next month, so I'm excited about that.
Excellent. Yay.
And I won this book from the conference.
Nice.
Oh, that's always nice.
It's the Animal Chaplain's Advice for Surviving Animal Loss, Making Life Meaningful, and Healing the Planet. And then, so that was fun. I just got that yesterday, and then I bought this book, The Healing Virtues.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
book.
I
You'll
know
also
that.
get you'll get the e-version of that book in your class too.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But
Okay, cool.
it's always nice to have the physical book, isn't it?
It
Yes.
is.
All right. And Beth, would you like to share your win?
I am Yeah, sorry, this is my first time today.
Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Welcome back.
So my one is I work in an animal shelter here in Scotland, and one of the dogs that is sort of a long-term resident, she got adopted by like the most amazing women. She has like lots of lambs. She's a lurcher, the dog that's been adopted, so they kind of can't be let off the lead. And yeah, because they can chase, but she's got lots of her own private land. So yeah, Sophie's gone to like such a good home. So yeah, that's my win.
Oh, that's excellent. How did you find us, Beth?
It was through the Let Animals Lead conference.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And Mary Lynn, last but not least by any means, what is your win?
Got in. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Well, you're here with us.
I'm here. I'm happy to be here, of course.
Well, we're happy to have you. And this is a kind of a special meeting today. They're all special, you know, when we have you guys with us. But Leah is at C.A.R.E, so we'll be seeing maybe some friends pop in. And well, I know we will, because our topic today is about tips. We wanted to give tips to help you when you are sitting in meditation with an animal. And of course, you know, we know the basics, right? That we have to have our physical needs met. We have to, you don't want to be hungry or have to go to the bathroom or thirsty or cold or too hot, all of those things. We need to take care of those physical needs so we can be present with the animal. But not all animals really are the same. So, you know, you have prey animals, you have predators, and our approach to them might be a little different. So that's one of the tips. We need to keep in mind, what type of animal are we actually sitting with? A lot of us, you know, are used to dogs and cats and domesticated animals that are used to being around us. But Leah is around a lot of animals that maybe aren't used to being with humans as much, you know, and living in their world. So how we approach them might be a little different. And it is going to be different depending on if they are a prey animal or a predator animal as well. And I think, Leah, who are you with right now?
Well, you can't see Katrina because she's over there. So we'll just do a little walk and I'll take you by, we'll go by the monkey that's really angry, because that would be a good kind of litmus test. So when, you know, like these animals, some of them know me very well, but some of them don't know me at all. And like the monkeys, I don't work very much with the monkeys. So his name is Choopy, and he had a pretty rough life, and he came to C.A.R.E as a rescue, and they can work with him, the owners, but he doesn't really work with very many people. The sun's probably too bright to see Tyrion the tiger over here, but we'll come back. There's other tigers we can see. So coming down through here, so we're going through all the reptiles. Katrina, I don't know if you could see her because she's kind of hidden. Hi, sweetheart. She's flicking her little tail. But as I come over here, you can hear he's getting very angry, right? So he doesn't like humans coming and disrupting his peace. So with an animal like this, a monkey, if I'm going to be working with him, and we do have people come work with Choopy, because he needs the Reiki. So it's okay, Choopy. It's okay. But you might want to just say hi, and then it's okay, Choopy. So you could tell he's getting very upset. So I'm gonna go over where he can't see me. And maybe I'll come stand by animals that do like me, but even if I don't, I would come over. You could tell he's calmed down a little bit. And I would just come over here, and then I would offer Reiki. Now you might say, oh, but he obviously doesn't want Reiki. It's not that he doesn't want Reiki. He just doesn't want me in his space. So you could hear he's calmed down because I'm over here. It's not that he doesn't care that I'm here. He just doesn't want me where he could see him. So if I'm doing Reiki, I would stay here and do it. And so that's a tip for doing it with an animal that might be aggressive or upset, because we don't know why they're upset. And he has such little power in his world. We want to make sure that we're giving them that power of choice. So now when I offer Reiki, you know, I'll just sit and just be the sun, right? We're not directing anything. We're just setting our intention that we're open to receive whatever we need to let go of our own stuff and to just shine like the sun with our energy. And now he can choose to take whatever he wants. And you could say, you know, Choopy, you're invited to take whatever you want or nothing at all. But he's completely quiet. So it's not that he's objecting to Reiki, which I think some people get confused about. They think if the animal's acting that way, oh, they don't want Reiki. They don't want this. And that's not true. It's they just don't want you in their space or forcing something. So when we can just let go and step away. So Jamie, I don't know if you want to add to that.
That's a really good point, because, you know, we're so used to the domesticated animals, where if a domesticated animal was doing that, they may be saying, you know, either you're too close or I'm just not interested in this right at this moment. But now we're dealing with basically wild animals, and they're going to communicate their needs differently. They're not wanting us to come up and necessarily and be right in their space. So they're telling us a different message, and we have to, that's one of the tips. We have to be aware of, oh, okay, so now it's not a dog, it's not a cat. This is a monkey. What are they telling us? And we have to be really open to that. And absolutely, she just backed up to where maybe he couldn't see her because, you know, he's had a bad experience with people, and they don't need us as much, you know, they haven't domesticated themselves to living with humans.
So can you see me right now? Can
Oh,
you see her?
yes. Uh-huh.
So see me obviously likes people. She's sitting here and I don't think that's Rosie. No, that's not Rosie. That's Simi. And she's like sticking her tongue out and she's making cute faces. She obviously, yeah, she is. She's sticking her tongue out right now. But she obviously wants. And then Amos is over here. He's blowing kisses. He wants. So for animals like this, we're going to probably sit and possibly face them. Hi, sweetheart. We're going to possibly face them and sit quietly and go inward. But again, sometimes, you know, I don't like to just stare at them. You want to keep your eyes downcast and let them choose. And the way you'll know, especially with wild animals, that a session is over is they're going to start being really active again. So wild animals are the best to tell you when a session is over. I mean, tigers, they're kind of lazy. They're going to lay there. They'll take as much as they can. But someone like a monkey, they might start getting really active again. Like Ava, she only takes a little bit of Reiki. And then, can you see her dancing around? Amos is there. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Yes, we can. Mm-hmm.
So with monkeys like this, we're going to want to sit with them, do some meditation. And then if they start acting really active about 15, 20 minutes, you could say, okay, that's a sign that it's probably done. Most of the animals here though, and of course this is group, they will get really super quiet. So we go back to our standard, which if you're going to do an official session, 30 minutes, right, Jamie? 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what you have.
Yeah. And, you know, especially, and keep in mind wild animals, because these guys really are wild animals. Yes, they've been, you know, they are in a sanctuary, that type of thing. But think of a bird. A bird is active and busy all the time, and they're also prey. So they have to be on guard because there's, you know, they want to live. And so if you can get a bird to sit with you, even for a couple of minutes where it stops and just takes that Reiki energy in, that's really powerful. You know, you don't want to think, oh, they just came and didn't stay very long, because that's what we tend to do with our human mind. That is a really beautiful experience that they gave you, even a couple of minutes, that they were willing to just sit and take that in.
Yeah, absolutely. Birds are the ones, the one few animals that they're probably only going to take a few minutes. But again, they might come back and forth. So always make that commitment. So these are the foxes. The foxes are pretty shy, but you could tell with humans, They're not running. Now, if they started to scurry away, I would immediately leave, but they're used to human contact and they're just hanging out. It's very, very hot here. It's 80, what is it, like 86, 87 right now, which is extremely hot for this time of year. So here's, I don't know if you guys can see Tyrion here. He is panting over here. So there's Tyrion. Can you see him, James?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so Tyrion loves Reiki and he's excited to get it. So what Tyrion will do is, you know, we'll sit for a good half an hour, if not more. I mean, in class, you don't get quite longer than a half an hour. But when we come out here tomorrow to just do Reiki, and today I'll sit with him and I'll do at least a half an hour because they love to soak it up. And they don't mind if you sit facing them. Again, they like people, they're friendly. But if you're at a zoo or somewhere where the animals don't know you, you might want to sit to the side,
right,
on a bench, always keeping our eyes downcast. I always close my eyes. So, you know.
That's a great point, Leah. You know, if we're facing directly, that can be really confrontational. And if we just turn sideways, you know, so our shoulder is towards them, that can make all the difference. Our body language is really big as to whether we are a threat to the animal. They're going to read that. And so we just need to be aware of that. We can do things. We can move back, we can turn, we can, you know, put our shoulder to them. We look down, that we're not a threat.
Yeah. And the thing too, as we're talking about this, I was thinking, you know, it's to your energy, right? So we want to get ourselves into balance before we even come onto the property, before you even sit with an animal. You want to make sure that you do your precepts and you're letting go, or if you don't know the precepts, you're really focusing on, okay, I'm just going to let go of my anger. I'm going to let go of my worry. I'm going to focus on all is well. And so that when you come to them, they're not like, oh, like, what is she doing? But they're like, oh, look at this beautiful energy is coming through. But when we have worry and anger or frustration on us, then they're not going to want to connect easily with us, especially these beautiful wild animals. I mean, we always want to make sure that I don't know if you could see Katrina.
Yes, we can.
So that's Katrina. She's another one of the tigers. And now these tigers have been here since they were babies. So they're very used to humans, but they still have their moods. They still will tell you whether or not they want to be with you. This is Chimera. Chimera is a liger, which means he's two parts lion and 1 part tiger. So I don't know if you guys could see him in there. He's a little bit harder because he's
a little hard to see. Is he underneath the platform there?
Well, he's not under it. Let's see. Let me see if we could go up higher. I don't know if you could see him any better. He's laying on the platform on the top of the platform.
He's cut off a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So he's only 2 or 3, and he is still a young lion, liger. And so he can get kind of antsy. There's his body. Can you see him leaning up against the fence?
Yes, yeah, we can.
Just his body. And that's, so with him, you know, it's really hot, so they're not going to engage much. If it's cold, he might start to show aggravation. So I would definitely sit aside because you don't want to overstimulate the animals too with your presence. And then here's Katrina, Daenerys. I don't know if you can see her laying under.
Yes.
And she's another one that loves Reiki. The tigers, especially when it's, oh, hi, sweetheart.
Oh,
yes. So she did a little chuffing noise. She knows me very well. I've known her since she was a baby. And so she'll chuff and say, oh, say hello, my baby. And then we'll go over to one more animal. There's many animals, but I'm not going to go all over property because it is a big property. But the one that also is very nervous animal are the foxes sometimes. So when we come and sit with the foxes, right now they're being pretty passive, but when you come and sit with the foxes or work with an animal like this that may be more active, again, you know, just kind of reading the temperature. What are they doing? Are they stopping? Are they listening? Or are they acting scared of you? Like right now, they're kind of looking at me a little wary, but they're not running away. I don't know if you can see Ginger down there.
Yep, we can see them. They're like, oh, okay, we're going to move out of the picture
So
now.
that one jumped down to get away from me. So I'm going to move away from her.
Yeah.
Oh, and then here's Daenerys. Daenerys doesn't like to be out of the, so she's doing her chuffing. Hi, sweetheart.
Oh,
She's chuffing and she's saying hello.
that is so sweet.
So we'll sit here for a minute and hi, Daenerys. Yeah, so why don't we open it up for discussion?
Yeah, does anybody have questions or comments or any experience that you would like to share? Now's the time. Just raise your hand. You can do this. You can use the little hand down below. You can put a question in chat. Somebody's got oh, Gabby, yes.
Yeah, I can. I was in Thailand at the Elephant Nature Park from Lake
Oh,
yes.
And the first year I just went there for a day because there were no openings for volunteers. And the next year I went for a week. And so we were shown around and we shoveled elephant poop and whatever, prepared the food and all that. And when we did this big walking around, they talked about this one elephant was a she, or is a she, who was also very, very angry, and she could never be let out of her enclosure, and she wouldn't interact with other elephants. And before they rescued her, she was pretty badly hurt. One ear was only half of the ear left, so they probably always put hooks in there. So angry one. And so I asked them if I would be allowed to do Reiki with her. And towards the very end of my stay there, they allowed me to go there and also talk to the mahout. And of course, I had to keep my distance. And I went up there and the mahout was just feeding her like little fruit, which she picked from a tree. And she obviously really, really liked it. And she let me know I want more. So I don't speak Thai, so somehow I related that to him, that she really wanted more, and he was so excited, and he went back up to the tree there, and he got so much. I mean, he had a whole bowl full, and was feeding her that, and she was so happy that I could come really, really close to the fence and give her Reiki then. That was really quite wonderful. And then a day later, I had to leave, so I wasn't able to go back. But then I gave her like for a month with the time change. It's a little difficult, distant Reiki. So it was a lovely experience.
Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Elephants are just so magnificent. And what an experience you got to have.
That was really great. And Lake Chaleur, that's a beautiful documentary about her, how she rescues elephants. It's called Love and Bananas. And of course, elephants do love bananas, but they also like these little fruit thingies. So I would really think when you show them love, and even if it's through food, they kind of open up to you and mellow out a little bit. Yeah.
Very nice. I love that. I just love that. Anyone else have a comment, question, story you'd like to share, experience?
I just really quickly, Gabby, I love that so much because, you know, just, it's not animal communication. It's anything. It's just that feeling that you knew what she wanted and you acted on your instinct. And I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Mel wishes she could be here. I wish you could be here too, Mel.
Yes,
next
you
year.
did. I was going to ask if you saw that message.
Yeah, it just popped up. So yeah.
Good, good.
So anyone else want to share?
Somebody's got to have something.
And don't worry, you know, all questions. It's funny because sometimes people are scared to ask a question and then it comes out that, oh my God, that was such a great question. So
right. And it doesn't have to
don't
be
be
about
afraid.
wild animals, or it can be about anything. So, oh, Beth. Yes, Beth raised her hand.
Yay.
Beth.
I have sort of two questions. So I used to sort of work at a zoo, and I tried to give, well, I did give Reiki to the wolves there, but there was like so much sadness, and I never knew when to stop with them, because it was like, no matter, I was giving them Reiki, but I still felt like sadness from them. Stuff that happened at the time. Unfortunately, like some wolves had to be like put to sleep. And I think that was part of it. But I never know, like, I always want to finish Reiki with feeling almost like, do you know the feeling you get when you give Reiki? You often feel like better in yourself, but that never happened with them. And I wondered, have you had experience with that before?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, we were just talking about this last week or the week before, and how sometimes we're more focused on that and not focused on the joy and love in our heart. Because when we're coming to offer Reiki, we're supporting their emotional needs, right? We're supporting that emotional release of whatever pain that they have. So when we come and we sit and we start focusing on that sadness, it's compounding that sadness, instead of, like you said, like where you end it and you're feeling really good, right? Because with humans, you're not focused on that because you probably don't feel it as much, right? When they're really sad, or okay, I'm going to be giving them Reiki. I want to make them feel better, right? It's the same thing with animals. We want to make them feel better. So when we sit with them, we always sit with joy in our heart. And then when we're focusing on ourselves and the energy that we're putting out, we're making sure that our energy is filled with love. That's really all it comes down to. This is just focusing on our hearts and that energy of love and peace and joy from our hearts. And then when we sit in that space, and we might feel that sadness, and we say, you know what, thank you. I honor that sadness. And I want you to know I love you. I see you. You're important. And just really keeping that focus of love. Because if we don't, it's like you said, we start, and we've all been there. We've all done this. And so it's not like, oh, Beth, why aren't you further along? Happens all the time. We have to work on it, right? Because it's really easy to get overwhelmed, especially when an animal is in crisis, which is why we really have to do our own personal practice and do the precepts, let go of anger, let go of worry, and really focus on that energy of love, because that is the energy that's healing. That is the energy where they feel supported, right? And that's the energy where change can occur. And so, Jamie, I don't know if you want to say something about that as well.
Absolutely. And I think, especially like the zoo animals, we can go in with a preconceived notion. I have done this. And I went into a zoo. I was with the apes, and the silverback was there, and it was a busy day. And I was watching all the people, and they were just, mocking the animals, really being totally stupid, making ape noises, scratching their armpits, jumping up and down. And all these apes were clear in the back. And I was so embarrassed that I was part of the human race, because I'm like, they're going to think I'm like them. And I was beating myself up that I went there. And immediately the silverback, we kind of made eye contact, which even today, I don't know how we did because he was too far away, but we did. And he stood up and he walked down and got directly in front of me. And it's the closer he got, the more obnoxious everybody came. And then I felt even worse. But the beautiful thing was he was not paying attention to them. He didn't care one iota about what they were doing. Because otherwise he would have done what apes do. He would have pounded on the glass. He would have thrown poop at him. He would have roared. He would have, done what apes do. No, he came up to me. And then he just sat down on the ground and leaned up his back against the glass. So his light saw my light. But when I was in there, I was humanizing all this, like, oh, and he's going to come down here and he's coming closer and he's being humiliated. And I'm thinking all these human thoughts, right? And putting all these human emotions on it, which he probably wasn't even feeling at all, because he didn't care what they were doing. He just noticed me. And he's like, oh, I see you. Okay, I'm going to come down there.
What I love about that story is that he was healing you.
Yes.
He was healing your pain. And so that's what we can do for animals. Like right here is this silverback. He's confident. He's not upset.
No.
But he sees Jamie in her light and understands it. So he comes and he connects with her. That is like, we need to be that light for animals. And I know how hard that is, Beth, because, you know, there used to be a fox here that paced all the time. Well, the fox is still here. She just doesn't pace all the time anymore. But it was really like upsetting, right? To sit with her because she's pacing. We had to really work hard and let go of that and just focus on that feeling of love, that feeling of all is well, all is well, all is well. Because unlike humans, where we need so many different sessions of hearing all is well, with animals, it works much faster. That beautiful feeling of love, of safety, of support, they feel immediately. So if we can really work on ourselves and let go of that attachment to the worry, attachment to the pain, or, oh, this happened, oh, that's so sad, because that energy is really heavy and low. But the energy of love and light and happiness and peace is much higher. And I think that sometimes we humanize it like, oh, we need to identify and empathize with their pain. We don't, you know, because we're like, if that were a human, I wouldn't want them to feel like I was ignoring their pain. But the reality is they need us to be that light. So what I love about the silverback again is that Jamie needed his light, and he shared it with her, and it changed her, right, forever. And that's what we can do.
You know, and this happened years ago, and it was just like it was yesterday to me. So
right.
It was a huge lesson, and it doesn't have to be a wild animal. This can be a shelter dog,
right,
or anything. You know, any animal can give you this gift that can come see your light and come heal you.
And that's what the gift that we really want to focus on giving to the animals, right? We want, for us, when we sit with them, for them to be changed for the better.
Yes.
So hopefully that answered that one question. You had another one too?
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Also, this is a bit random, but like sometimes if I'm sitting, like I sit outside and eat my lunch, and like sometimes birds will come down and I'll have a feeling to give them, like, but I don't know if it's them actually wanting healing, or whether it's just me and I'm automatic like, oh, I need to like give healing to all animals. Is there like, do you have any techniques for sort of like,
yeah, again, you know, you have to remember, Beth, like, you work on yourself, so your light is already brighter than most, right? Because you have this desire to help, and so your light is already bright. So what if you changed your thinking to the birds are attracted to your light and they want to share their light, right? Because a lot of times we're like, I have to share my light to heal you. How about I just want to share my light to be with you? Because when we connect, we're being raised to their level, which is up here. We operate on a very lower level than they do, right? Because animals, the only time you're ever going to be unconditionally loved by any being is from an animal, because humans have, even mothers, I say this all the time, I love my baby butt, right? There's always butts. Animals don't have butts. I love you, period. So now maybe when you're eating lunch, try, and I would love to have you come back and share with us what happens when you're eating your lunch. Shine your light, say, I love you, I'm so happy you're here with me, this is such a beautiful experience, I'm so grateful for your presence. And then see how that shifts things. And if they stay longer, or if you find that you're even more popular, pretty soon you're covered in birds. Because we want to make it so complicated, right, Jamie? Like we try to, okay, I'm a healer, I'm going to heal. No, they see your light. You are this beautiful light. They don't see all this other stuff, and they don't see you as perfect. So when they come to connect with you, it's that beautiful sharing of light, because not only do you have something to give, but they have something to give. And so it's that infinity of just, there is really no giving and receiving, like Kathleen says, you know, it's being. But if we need to think, okay, well, I'm giving, well, you're also receiving. And that's where there's true balance. You can't give all the time and never receive. And that's what animals teach us, right? That, wait, I have gifts to give. So if you're open, now it's this continuum.
And it's to me, it's kind of like a friendship. Like you were sitting there having lunch with a best friend. Sometimes you give more to the relationship. Sometimes your friend gives more to the relationship. But when you're together, you're not thinking about, oh, how can I help you? How can I do this for you? You're just in the moment. And it's fun and it's joyous and you're probably laughing and you're having a good time. Animals are like that. We can have that relationship with that. For me, I just look at it like I'm sitting here with a friend.
Yeah. Love
So,
that. So does that help us?
Questions?
Thank
Does
you
that
so
help?
much. I'm gonna try that with the birds.
And then come back and report. Come
Yes,
back
I
definitely
will,
and
yeah.
report on this.
Yes. So Mel has her hand up. Mel, what would you like to share with us today?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So I think I got a little consolation prize for not being able to go to C.A.R.E this year. I had no idea that there was, it's called Animal Adventures. It's a family zoo and rescue. So they have a lot of rescue animals there, wild animals. And it's literally 25 minutes from my house. And I had no idea it existed. And they have bobcats and lynxes. So they have those, and they have crocodiles. They got literally just so many animals there. And there was a specific animal that I connected with, which was a tortoise. And his name is Solomon. And I sat with him and I did Reiki. It was so humid in that room because they needed warmer, but it was such a nice experience with him because he literally just put he craved he wanted touch because he just, I don't feel the sadness either a lot of times, but this literally, he felt sad because he didn't have that companionship that he was craving. But when I sat with him, he put his hand, his big head, he's huge, big head into my hand, and he just rested it there while we just did Reiki together. And he almost smiled afterwards. It's like, I've never seen a tortoise smile, not such a big one either, but I filled out an application to volunteer there. And I also gave them one of our C.A.R.E letters so that I could, so they know what we're about. But I hope that I can help these animals like heal a little better and feel more comfortable in their environment, because some of them they seemed sad too. And it was the first experience that I've ever had with sad animals. So I was just trying to shine my light as much as possible.
You know what? And I love that you brought that up, because it reminds me, like Jamie said earlier, shelter animals, right? Sometimes we go into shelters and they're not the best shelter, or we go to zoos, right? And the animals are depressed. But if we can just shine our light, and I think as humans, we're always like, not good enough, right? That's not enough. That's not enough. We should give more. We should give more. But we have to stop and realize that animals, that one moment that we're with them, that helps them. They can actually heal. Like, I don't know how many times I've been in a shelter and you sit with an animal that's depressed. One time, Kathleen and I went to Best Friends in Utah. It's a big, huge rescue. And there was this cat, Smokey, I think his name was. And he was so like skinny and just like, oh my God, he scurried and he was just so sickly. And so I sat and I offered Reiki. And I shared the space, and just sent love. And the next day, Kathleen and I went back and we're like, oh, we wanted to check on Smokey. Where are and the people that work there, this is so funny. They're like, oh, there he is up on the rafters. He was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, up on the rafters, completely changed cat. And they didn't even say anything. They weren't like, yeah, he had this, because that happens, right? People are people. But it was so amazing. All he needed was to be seen. All he needed was to know that he was important. And that look how far that went. I mean, Kathleen will tell you this, Rachel. We were both just like, that's not the same. We kept asking, that's Smokey. That's Smokey, the one we said, yeah, yep, that's Smokey. But no, like, yeah, isn't that a great turnaround? So, of course, we humans need that. But Kathleen and I saw that transformation and saw that just at 30 minutes of sitting with him changed him completely. So we have to open our hearts and our minds that is possible. And that when we go, it could be the session that changes their whole outlook on where they are and who they are. And I love that story so much, Mel, because there's a huge tortoise here. I'll take you guys over there before we close. And he's beautiful. So
Yeah,
thank you so much for bringing that up, Mel. I
Yes.
love that so much.
that's great. And Marianne also has her hand up, or I mean, Mary Lynn, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was looking at the gallery view.
I was looking for Mary Ann. I'm going, oh,
I'm trying to do two things at once and I didn't do a very good job at it.
it's okay. You know, this talk of sadness just brought up something about yesterday. I was at the shelter I volunteer with once a week, and I think I brought this dog up to you last week. His name is Gunner, and he's the shepherd, and how I felt, you know, his eye contact was strong, and he looked so sad. And anyway, so yesterday I was able to get inside, not inside his kennel, but inside the room instead of waiting outside the glass windows. So I got to sit, and I sat next to him, but on an angle. So we weren't, you know, I was like so, and so we weren't face to face. And there's two other dogs there in the back, and they're barking away and barking, and he's barking and barking. I sit down and I said, okay, I'm going to relax here. And I got into it. And then I began to feel, I noticed sadness. And because I flashed on the fact that Gunner has a digestion problem, and they're trying to figure out how to correct that. And yet I knew I had to release that, but I was challenged. However, in a little bit of time, he laid down right next to me inside his kennel, and that I felt was a good thing, and the energy was flowing. And then he sat up and he went over and laid on his bed for a little while, and I thought, okay, that's even better, and maybe I don't feel, and because of that, I wasn't feeling so sad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was mostly about the digestion, and you know, he's skinny for a
shepherd. And then again, you know, we don't want to focus on that, because that's your perception too. Remember, like this is a good lesson in perception. Your perception is it's the digestion or whatever it is causing his sorrow. So you kind of focus on it for a minute, but then he goes and he lays down, and then that makes you feel better, right? So we have to really
better for him.
Well,
but better for me too.
Better for him, but better for you is how you perceive it. So, and Michelle, I'd love for you to talk too. I know you just used tap, but hopefully you can come off and share. But we have to really watch those feelings, because, you know, we've talked about this. Let me see. I don't really have a good thing to do perception, but so I'm 5'5", and you know, if I'm standing next to my partner who's 6'3", I'm short, right? That's the perception. I'm short. But if I'm standing next to, you know, my 13-year-old nephew who is only, you know, 4 or 5, then he's short and I'm tall, right? So it's perception. It's all in how we're looking at it. And so when we're sitting with animals and we start to get this, again, that's why it's so important for us to go, you know what, I'm going to release this, and I'm just going to focus on love. I'm going to release this and just go into that heart space. And, you know, that's one of the things we teach, is that simple meditation, breathing into your heart. Think of something that you truly love, and then just breathe into that. And so that is an easy way to get that feeling of love generated immediately within you, right? Or we talked about bringing something that brings you joy. Like me, it's bunnies, right? So every time I say the word bunnies, I can't help it. I laugh. It changes my heart. So now I can go back to, okay, that's what I'm here for. So for you, Mary Lynn, and I always love your honesty, and this isn't to pick on you, and I'm so grateful to you because you can see we all have things to learn from this, right? Is that we just want to let go of that perception. And Jamie, I want to have you comment, and then we'll turn it over to Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, in the past, you would have been thrown off by that, Mary Lynn. And I think that's your win for the week. But yeah, okay, so it kind of came and you found yourself drifting off, but you came back. There's times when you've told us something like this happened and you had to stop, you had to leave, and you didn't this time. So I think you need to, you know, congratulate yourself on that.
Thank you.
Big. That's big.
Yeah.
And the next time you go, Beth is giving you applause too. The next time you go, you're going to be more prepared for this as well.
Yeah.
And you're going to remind myself, this is my perception. And you'll go into that place of love, right?
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much,
Very
Mary Lynn.
helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you for sharing that. Michelle, can you share your question that you put in chat? Can you at least, yeah.
Hey.
Hi. I'm getting all emotional over here thinking about it. Sorry.
Oh, that's
it's
okay.
all right.
No,
all
it's a
right.
safe place.
I have worked at a shelter for about 14 years. And I was an animal control officer in the kennels. So in the kennels, you know, we would euthanize every single day for 2 years. And then I was an officer, which was rewarding but also traumatizing because, you know, cruelty cases and all that. And then the adoption center, and that was difficult. Anyway, I left to be a pet sitter, which I'm currently have my own business now, pet sitting.
Yay.
And I did try to go back to a rescue, and I lasted like 3 days, and I was like, I cannot do this again. So what would you recommend? Like, how do I process these emotions to not like bring that back? Like if I were to go back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a big one, Michelle. And it's really good you're going to take that level 1 class because you're going to get a lot of tools. But the simplest one, and Jamie might have another idea too, is all is well. Because in this moment, that's all that matters, right? So tomorrow may not come. Yesterday, it's already gone. You can't change anything that's already happened. But what you can shift is the energy of what's happening right now. And again, like I said to Beth, you know, you are a beautiful light. You have so much compassion and love in your heart. And, you know, taking level 1 with Kathleen in 2007, I didn't have the experience of you, but I couldn't go into a shelter without crying. So she, you know, you'll learn the precepts, which is for today only, which is a very Buddhist concept in this moment. Do not anger, do not worry, be humble, be grateful, and show compassion to yourself and to others, right? Because we can't show true kindness and compassion to others unless we can show it to ourselves. So, you know, give yourself love for having such a huge heart and for being that light, right? And you did so much good for the animals that you did come in contact with. Because like I was saying to Beth, you are a beautiful light. We are all beautiful lights. That's how we are born. But we lose sight of that light. And that's why this practice helps us to reignite that light. And also, you know, reading the Compassion Consortium's book is going to help you too, to find tools. But it's really just finding a way for yourself to give yourself grace and compassion and know that now might not be the right time to go into a rescue, Michelle. You have a lot of trauma. So you need to heal you first. And you know, work with your pet sitting. You have great opportunities to practice and share and start reigniting that beautiful light within you, so that then, you know, maybe a month, 2 months, a year from now, maybe you can now go into the shelter and now you're not overwhelmed by what's happening.
Right. And I would just like to add, I spent 13 years in law enforcement, and I would go videotape crime scenes, and I saw man's inhumanity to man, you know, frequently. And it came about, really, I had PTSD and I would have nightmares and dreams. And at the same time, I was really into crime shows and serial killer things and, you know, all this stuff. And till it was, you know, I just had to deal with the grief. and I went to a grief recovery workshop, but you know, you can do the same thing by journaling about your grief. And I realized I don't have those dreams anymore, but I also don't watch, you know, crime shows. I don't put myself in that environment. And I knew that I had to leave law enforcement. So that's why I left, because I knew what it was doing to me, just like you recognized what was happening to you. So I don't think you should beat yourself up if you are, that you can't go into a shelter. It's all right. I applaud you for recognizing where you're at. Okay, I can't go back in there. And maybe you never will. I mean, I don't know that I would ever go back into law enforcement because of it, because I've seen that. I know what it does to me. I don't want to be around that energy. But there's ways that you can take care of yourself and still help those animals. But
and you're gonna
take care of yourself.
Yeah, and you're gonna learn so many different tools, and just reading that, you know, Healing Virtues is going to help shift that for you, because you're going to learn some tools, and you're going to hear those words, and you're going to realize, you know, that your light is still there. You're this beautiful, beautiful person, Michelle. Your heart is so big, but right now, you know, you have a lot of pain and trauma. So just really, really taking time for yourself to recover. And I love that you're doing the pet sitting, because what better way, again, to practice and then also feel the love of the animals back to you, right? We mirror. And this is a really great thing too. It's like, you'll learn this in your level 1, Michelle, but being a mirror, right? So if we sit with an animal and we're stressed or we're sad, guess what's going to be mirrored back, right? But if we sit with the animal and we're sending love and joy and compassion, that is what's going to be mirrored back to us. And so that's why a lot of times people want Reiki sessions for their animals, and you get there and you're like, and the animal's like, hey, it's her, it's not me, it's her. Can you do her, please? And so, you know, you say, okay, and you'll learn this in your level 1, you'll learn a really simple chair treatment. It's just, you don't need a massage table. It's just all with the head up here. And that will really help the person. And once they relax, then the animal's like, oh, thank you. So, you know, you're going to learn some really great things. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that you're here. I know Jamie is as well, because that's what we created this group for, is to really offer that support and to remind you that you're doing the good work and that you have to have grace with yourself. And so hopefully that helps.
And this experience will make you even better at connecting with the animals. But right now, you need to let the animals heal you, and you're in a perfect place for it. You're pet sitting. You know, they're happy little animals, and they can come heal that heart, because that's what the animals need. They need you healed, and they'll help you get there.
And remember, we're not taking anything from an animal if we sit with them and say, could you please help me? In fact, when you ask them, Michelle, I'm going to give you this, and Beth, I'm going to give you this challenge as well, and anyone else, go to the animals, like for Beth, the birds, or for you, Michelle, the dogs that come to your pet sitting, and ask them, say, I am learning a new practice. I'm learning how to breathe. I'm learning how to meditate. I'm learning how to let go. Could you please help me? I'm feeling some pain. Could you please help me? And they're like, yes, because they never get asked to help. They're always like, I'm the human, you're here, I'm going to heal you. And instead it's like, but wait, we've got gifts, like we said before, right? Giving and receiving, staying in that balance. So that is the challenge for all of us, really, right? It's a reminder to me, I don't do that enough. And just asking the animals for their support and their help.
Yes. We are at 11:29. I know we have a couple of hands up. I don't know what you guys want to do. If you would like to go a little longer.
Well, why don't we hear from Renee and Gabby, if you don't mind, since you already spoken. Let's hear from Renee, because we haven't heard from her yet. So,
okay,
Renee.
Okay, hi. I just had a question. So I'm fairly new to Animal Reiki, or Reiki itself. And just when you guys were talking about helping animals in shelters, I know I have done some distance Reiki with a horse that I had seen prior. Now, is there a way of doing or offering Reiki to animals in a shelter? like maybe just by seeing pictures on the website or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Curious.
Absolutely. And just remember, so Renee, I'm not sure like what animal Reiki you studied or if you've studied the let animals lead way or not, but human Reiki is much different than animal Reiki. So with human Reiki, we're focusing on what's wrong. We're focusing on directing energy or whatever that is. With animal Reiki, the way we teach, it's really just focusing on the love in your heart. So whatever that brings love to your heart, whether it's thinking of something that brings love or you thinking of something joyful, but that is what you're focusing on. And so you can say to the animal, you know, you see a picture, okay, I would love to connect with you. You could take as much or as little as you want or nothing at all. I am just going to sit and create this beautiful energy of love within myself. And you have to trust, and we could talk about it in another meeting about how do you know if distance Reiki is working, right? Maybe that should be the topic for next week. Jamie, how do you know if distant Reiki is working?
I have to write this down because I'll forget.
Just let go. Just let go. And when you find your mind wandering, go to your breath, go to your heart, and just focus on that, because that's the easiest way to send love. And so when you learn Let Animals Lead method 1 or level 2, we're giving you deeper tools to go deeper into that distance space. But at level 1, you can still do distance, right? Because in human Reiki, you can't do distance until you learn level 2. Well, energy is energy. So what is it like? Sorry, animals, my energy is only level 1. Even if you feel it, you can't take it. It's not good enough. No, your energy is big and it's beautiful and it's loving. So yes, absolutely. Look at those pictures. But remember, focus here. Don't focus here. Focus here.
Okay, so basically you just need a picture.
Yeah, or his name, anything, you know,
Okay.
just yeah.
Okay.
Whatever
I was
helps
just
you.
curious. And I actually did take a just Kathleen's 5-week intro course recently.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you learned, so did she teach All Is Well in that one?
No.
Okay. So another thing you can do is just do the mantra All Is Well. So breathing in and breathing out, all is well. And then just breathing in and all is well. And that will keep your mind focused so that now you have all is well to just kind of do that. There is no right or wrong as far as like you trying to keep yourself in that space. The only thing I would say is wrong is when we focus on the negative. We let our emotions, right?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. This was absolutely fabulous today.
Well, really quickly, Gabby, in a few short words, can you say what you wanted to share?
I just wanted to share a story about a bird who I encountered, and because Beth was wondering about it earlier, so I can keep it really short.
Yeah.
When I was at Omega, Holistic Institute for studies, I volunteered there for 2 years, and there's a beautiful lake. And every time when I had time, I would go out there in a kayak. And this one day, that was in the middle of August, this bird, and maybe you can see it, he hopped up on my kayak.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like really startled because he has a pretty big beak. I didn't even know what he was about. And now in hindsight, that is now 8 years ago, it was really, I was always meditating basically when I was on the kayak. So he was drawn to it. And it's a cormorant. And to keep it really, really short, I would go out there pretty much every day. And he came and visited me for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Always pop up, always be there. So I'm on a board there at the lake. I'm the only person, otherwise it's all turtles and what have you, because it was truly amazing. So they pick up on your energy, and he just wanted to hang out. And he would be on the kayak like for half an hour. It was beautiful.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
And then they closed the lake, and then the next year I didn't see him, but maybe I was there the wrong time. So yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love that so much. I'm so glad you shared. So I know we're over. So Jamie, why don't you just walk us through the really quick 1-minute meditation, and that way everybody can understand that we don't have to, meditate for, in fact, there are studies that are showing now 2 minutes of meditation, 2 minutes, right? Just let it build up on itself, you guys. You can do this.
It doesn't have to be a long period of time to actually quiet the mind and just, get yourself centered again. And it all starts with, just make sure you're comfortable right now. And just start by taking a nice, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Pull it all the way down to your belly like a nice yoga breath. Just really fill that belly. And then exhale out. And take another nice, slow, deep breath in, filling the belly. And then exhale out and feel yourself start to relax. Let's do 2 more of those. Take another slow, deep breath in. Fill all the way down to the belly. And exhale out. And then take another slow, deep breath in. And exhale out. And now just sit in this space, this peaceful feeling that you've created. And focus on this beautiful light that's inside you and the love that you feel for animals, the love you feel for a best friend, the love you feel for life, something joyful in life, anything that brings you joy. Just feel the joy from the things that you have in your life. This beautiful heart center that you have is full of love and joy, and just focus on that for a minute, just for a few seconds even. And now take another slow, deep breath in. And as you do, feel that love and joy just flow through your body and all around you and wrap around you like a nice, warm, comforting blanket. And just exhale. And another deep breath in, feeling that love and joy surround you and comfort you. And exhale. Then go ahead and bring your awareness back to where you are in this moment. And open your eyes when you're ready. And that's really all it takes sometimes. You can do that at work, wherever you're at. Just take a moment, breathe, and remember the joy and the love. And let it.
And that, oh, go ahead, Jamie,
I was
sorry.
going to say, just let it wrap around you.
Because that, when you start doing that, when you start getting stressed, it's going to build on itself. So that pretty soon you're doing it more and more. And pretty soon you're finding yourself calmer, stronger, right? The belly breath is our connection to earth, our connection to our grounding foundation. It gives us strength. It gives us stability. It allows us to weather difficult times. So I love that. That was such a beautiful meditation. It got kind of quiet here. And I just wanted to go down and, we can let everybody go. I just wanted to show Mel and anybody else who wants to see. Here's Tiny the tortoise, and he's trying to get out.
Oh,
so
sure.
I don't know if you guys can see him.
Oh, yes.
There's
wow.
Tiny. Yeah. Hi, Tiny. Can you see his face?
Uh-huh.
Hi, sweetheart. I ignored you. We were looking at the monkeys. Didn't see you. He's right over here by the monkeys. He's huge. I don't know if you could see his body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's really, he's so funny. He's like, hello.
I love tortoises.
So thank you. So thank you so much, everyone.
Yes.
That was amazing.
It was. We so appreciate everyone being here. This was a fabulous meeting, and it wouldn't be a fabulous meeting without all of you.
And I don't know, Samantha, did you want to say anything really quickly? I think you were one of the.
Thank you so much. Like, I'm new to Reiki, Animal Reiki. And so this has been amazing for me to hear you guys talk.
Great.
So thank you so much.
That's what we're here for. And
I
Amy,
hope
I'm
you
so
can come
glad you
back.
came back. Oh, yes. I hope you can come back, and glad that Amy came back. Amy, if you want to say something real quick, it was just really nice seeing you again. Good luck with those kids. Just give them cookies.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing us all the animals.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. I know.